One of the most important business lessons the campaign taught us was the fact that no transaction is too small. The Obama campaign took a different approach than campaigns in the past, which would focus on donors who give $500, $1,000, $2,000. The Obama campaign said, you know what, if you would just give $5, $10, $15, etc., your dollars have as much value to us as anyone who would donate in the thousands. Small transactions where you fulfill the promise of the transaction create the trust to generate more and more money. We're going to look at a couple quick stats that show you how using small transactions generated big dollars for Obama. During the course of the campaign, more than 3 million people donated online alone. There were a total of 6.5 million donations from those 3 million donors, which add up to more than $500 million. Of the 6.5 million donations, 6 million were in the amount of $100 or less. The average online donation was just $80, and most people gave more than once. More important, let's compare the 2004 election with 2008. Look at the percentage of donors who gave $1,000 and up between the Kerry and Bush election in 2004 versus the Obama-McCain election in 2008. In 2004, 56 and 60% of donors donated more than $1,000 up. The number drastically dropped for Obama's campaign down to 47%, whereas McCain's campaign relied on the old methods of fundraising, focusing on big dollar donors. They donated and raised less than half of what the Obama campaign raised, using methods that were focused on digital media and, more importantly, small dollar amounts versus only the big dollar amounts that the traditional campaigns have always gone with. Think about the ways you might be able to outmaneuver and underspend your competition by offering products or services that are lower in cost but allow for people to donate or buy more and more often over the life of the relationship you have with them. We've talked about the importance of a centralized database. Why? Because you can use targeted messaging with email to reach that constituency with specific messages that relate to them. Every single person in the Obama database had identifiers around who they were, where they live, are they registered to vote, why do they vote, what are they looking to do. Why was that important? Because as the relationship developed, and every time Obama needed to raise money, they could send specific messages to those donors who best fit their need. Target email is a highly effective, low-cost way to send very specific messages to very specific audiences with offers and details that have value to them. Let's look at a few numbers. Over the course of the campaign, more than 1 billion emails were sent to their constituents. Of that, more than 7,000 different messages were targeted to specific audiences. The more targeted, the more personal, the more specific, and the more timely your message can be, the more effect you're going to have. Targeted email messaging allows you to do that. If you're utilizing Outlook to distribute content to your colleagues, you're utilizing the wrong tool. Let's look at an example of an email sent just 6 days before the election ended. Colin, the next 6 days are going to be the toughest we've seen, and I need your support to reach as many voters as possible. Donate $5 or more today to strengthen this movement for the final push. This campaign is in your hands. Thank you for everything you're doing, Barack. Think about that. It was about you, not about him. And because of that, you were compelled to donate $5. On multiple instances throughout the campaign, emails like this generated millions of dollars in matters of hours for the campaign. Imagine having a Facebook website all about you and your business, or maybe just your industry where you're featured. It's very appealing, and many organizations have tried to do it. And let me tell you, a self-managed social network can be very successful if it fills a void and if you're willing to commit to participating in it. Look at the example of the Barack Obama campaign. They created a social network all about their supporters understanding how to connect and communicate with what they did. It was called my.barackobama.com. The headline says it all, because it's about you. And you know what? This site was about you, the supporter. More than 2 million people created profiles on this site over the course of the campaign, talking about who they were and why they believed. But more importantly, the site was centered around what? That centralized customer database, that centralized voter database. Every single person who was in the system who created a profile, we could start to connect all the things we do offline and online into one central place.
One of the key things from a volunteer standpoint was the use of mybarackobama.com. It helped connect a lot of different people a part of the campaign, and also people that have never been a part of a political campaign. And using mybarackobama.com, especially back in the primaries, I was able to connect with field organizers and people that had already started up their own support groups. And doing that helped me and one of my buddies that was working on the campaign from a finance side, we had the resources, they had the people. And connecting us together then helped when Barack's campaign came to town for the Indiana primary, helped set them up in Fort Wayne or the 3rd District, helped set them up to run a really efficient campaign. We had events going out the door as soon as they got there, and you only had about a month of planning, and that really helped out the campaign because you had that one step up on the competition, and it was just better planning and better way of connecting people. Another thing that this did is you also had people on mybarackobama.com that had never been a part of the political process. So you helped give them the proper tools to help them organize so they could do volunteer events. They could go out and do door knocking. They can do out phone banking, which are the 2 main things that wins elections. You got to get people connected to your message. And that was one of the ways they did it. The other main thing that they did using mybarackobama.com is they helped transition people into the Facebook stage where you got people to spread your message all the time through using Facebook applications, updating your Facebook with different things that had to do with Barack, those different types of things. And so people that have never used social media got that experience first by mybarackobama.com, got them linked into Facebook, and then now with his administration going through office, they already will be using Facebook as part of their administration to connect with their supporters and also get the message out and be as transparent of a government as possible.
Here's an interesting fact from mybarackobama.com. More than 2 million profiles were created on the social network, of which 200,000 events were planned utilizing the site. Approximately 400,000 blog posts were written, and more than 35,000 different volunteer groups were created. Talk about getting grassroots. 70,000 people raised $30 million on personal fundraising pages that were created utilizing the tool. How many times have you generated tools to enable your customers to sell for you? Or how about other members of your team beyond your sales force? The reality of it is, digital and social media give you the opportunities to empower your entire organization, including those who are customers or prospects, to sell for you and tell your story. Microsites are another niche way to reach an audience your core website may not reach. The Obama campaign utilized one microsite strategy that I thought was completely brilliant. They took away the focus on just raising money and raising promotion and awareness for their organization, and they made the focus on just getting out the vote. They launched a microsite called Vote for Change. Vote for Change was a product they marketed all over the web, and it wasn't about Barack Obama. It was about getting you the information you needed to vote.
The use of voteforchange.com was a really key thing in the campaign because you have everything being built up to getting people to the polls, but there's always that misinformation that can happen of going to the wrong precinct, of going to the wrong polling location, and making sure people know where they need to vote. It's a very simple thing, but can yet frustrate a lot of different people, especially when you got a lot of new voters or you have a lot of people that were disenfranchised from the political system before and now are put back into the system and want to vote. Well, voteforchange.com is a very simple website, but it did 2 things. One, it gave the consumer what it needed or the supporter what it needed. And 2, it also captured their information because you had to fill out your address, your name, and your email. So it got them into the database. And this was another key thing that showed that they saw the database as the central focus of keeping in touch with their supporters and going back to those 2 strategies, integrating the web into everything they do, and then also creating connections big and small.
Without a doubt, getting the word out is critical to your business. Just putting up a website doesn't mean people are going to find you. There are 2 great ways to drive activity to your site. One of them is search engine marketing, and the second one is targeted online banner advertising. They can draw a huge response with the right message. Let's take a quick look at just a selection of the Obama campaign banner ads that were utilized across media websites and targeted microsites all around the globe. Banner advertising can be highly effective if you think about 2 key elements. 1, who is on the site you're going to be buying advertising from, and 2, what's important to them. Think of it this way. Every message you put in a banner ad has to go to an audience who cares about what you have to say. Let's consider search engine marketing and specifically buying cost per click keyword advertising. Look at how many different words the John McCain campaign utilized versus Barack Obama. I'm not suggesting that buying many more keywords is a bad thing. However, the reality of what McCain campaign did was that they bought everything and anything they could, including words like change. Where the McCain campaign bought lots of phrases, lots of terms all across the web and all across the spectrum of searches people were doing, the Obama campaign was very specific, focusing on locality, messaging to locality, and messaging to specific audiences. Their focus was on change, we can believe it, and the words they bought were much more succinct and much more focused.